Hey everybody, this is Marley K. I have a really good video that I want to show you. It's from someone that I follow on YouTube. Her name is Dr. Felicia Lockhart. Her channel is called Headlines with a Voice, and I will put a link to her channel in the description. But I want you to hear her take on one of the sessions from Davos last week, and it's about how we are hackable animals now. Basically, our thoughts are no longer our own. These people have found a way to get inside of your brain and know what you are thinking. So I'm going to play it, and then after it's done, I'm going to give my commentary on it. So it's going to be a pretty long video. I'm not going to play the entire video because it is quite long, but I just want you to get a gist of what's happening. So I'm going to start it back from the beginning.
Is from the WEF in Davos, Switzerland this past Thursday. This was good morning to everyone. This woman that you see here is, one of the people who work for a major university here in the States. So you are the hack job. So let's get right into this. So it starts off with, if you thought freedom of speech was worth preserving, next comes freedom of thought. Thanks to AI and the Internet of Bodies ecosystem, decoding the human brain is already well underway, according to a World Economic Forum presentation. 5 years after historian Yuval Noah Harari, not one of my favorite people, but let's just keep going. 5 years after historian Yuval Noah Harari told the WEF that humans were hackable and that organisms were algorithms, Harari's insights have been fully realized. Thursday's WEF meeting 2023 session on Ready for Brain Transparency, and it's a question, opened with a short video showing a dystopian scenario where employees' brainwaves were not only decoded to determine their performance in the workplace, but also to determine whether they participated in illegal activity. While the scenario in the video was fictional, the technological framework is already in place. Now, there are several quotes, and we will read them. The first one says, we can pick up and decode faces that you're seeing in your mind, simple shapes, numbers, your PIN number to your bank account. This comes from Nita Farahani at the World Economic Forum on the 2023. It was last Thursday, January 19th. Now, this is this lady right here. All right. So that's who that is. Let's go ahead and continue. There's another quote here that says artificial intelligence has enabled advances in decoding brain activity in ways we never thought possible. As we get into the body of the story, you'll see some of those quotes repeated. It goes on to say, the above video, which is the one that they play as you're watching it, and I'm going to leave this down below. It's actually already down below, and it has a tweet in there. When you click that tweet, it's going to blow your mind. When you click that particular, there are two videos I want you guys to click inside of that. All right. When you click down for the this link itself, two videos. The one video is a gentleman explaining everything she's about to say, and then there are some illustrative videos as well. So it goes on to say that in her presentation at Davos on Thursday, Nita Farahani from Duke University explained that the technology to decode brainwaves already existed and was currently being rolled out in some use cases. Artificial intelligence has enabled advances in decoding brain activity in ways we never thought possible. What you think, what you feel, it's all data. Data that is in large patterns can be decoded using artificial intelligence, she added. The devices to decode the human brain don't have to be as invasive as a brain implant. She says, we're not talking about implanted devices of the future. I'm talking about wearable devices that are like Fitbits for your brain. We can pick up emotional states like, are you happy? Are you sad? And she says these are headbands. That's what the wearable devices she refers to is. She says these are headbands, hats that have sensors that can pick up your brainwave activity. Earbuds, headphones, tiny tattoos that you can wear behind your ear. We can pick up your emotion states. Again, like, are you happy or are you sad? We can pick up and decode faces. Listen to this, your PIN number. Farahani goes on to say that while decoding the human brain had its benefits, it could be used for very nefarious purposes. Surveillance of the human brain can be powerful, helpful, useful, transform the workplace, and make our lives better, she says, adding, it also has a dystopian possibility of being used to exploit and bring to the surface our most secret self. Now I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to address that statement, our most secret self. I'm not sure if anybody has ever taken the opportunity to listen to Noah Harari, but he states that people who in the back of their mind or hidden in the recesses of their mind feel that they may be, other than opposite gender loving, say it like that, okay? That this is a possibility to bring that up in a person and then make them act this way and live this way, because according to him, that being deeply recessed is who you really are. So it brings who you really are forward. All right. It says if it threatens fundamentally what you own, what our own self-identity is in some ways, and threatens to become the tool of oppression, that's how it can become dangerous, she says. She goes on to say that we are no longer mysterious souls. We are now hackable animals. That was Yuval Harari back in 2020, I should say. That's that quote. You see there? That is his quote from 2020. Farahani's 2023 presentation falls right in the line with what Yuval Harari had been saying for years at Davos, that we are no longer mysterious souls, but we are hackable animals. And according to Harari, to hack a human being, you need a lot of biological knowledge, a lot of computing power, and especially a lot of data. If you have enough data about me and enough computing power and biological knowledge, you can hack my body, my brain, my life. You can reach a point where you know me better than I know myself, close quote. Now, here it is. Just imagine North Korea in 20 years, where everybody has a biometric bracelet which constantly monitors your brain activity for 24 hours. 24 hours of brain activity monitoring. You listen to a speech on the radio by a great leader and they know what you actually feel. You can clap your hands and smile, but if you're angry, they know you'll be in the gulag tomorrow morning. Wow. And if we allow the emergence of such total surveillance regimens, don't think that the rich and powerful in places like Davos will be safe, he added. Biological knowledge multiplied by computing power, multiplied by data, equals the ability to hack humans. Now, that's what he said in 2020. But what she's saying is basically everything he said then is now possible because, well, they've rolled it out. There's too many quotes in this. I should have just rewrote it. Like I do a lot of my stuff, just rewrite it the way I see it, put it all together. But I just did not want to leave the house. I have some things to do and not give the story to you because I found it very disturbing while we're looking at all these other things. We're being hacked. But I'll ask you guys a question at the end of this. So please don't leave. I want to ask everybody a question. All right. It says, the historian even came up with a danger formula for hacking beings, which he believes might be the defining equation of life in the 21st century. That equation is B by C by D equals AHH, which means biological knowledge multiplied by computing power multiplied by data equals the ability to hack humans. The power to hack human beings can, of course, be used for good purposes, like provided much better healthcare, right? Said Harari in 2020, adding, but if this falls into the hands of a 21st century Stalin, the results will be the worst totalitarian regime in human history. And we already have a number of applicants for the job of the 21st century Stalin, close quote. The Internet of Bodies might trigger breakthroughs in medical knowledge, or it might enable surveillance state of unprecedented intrusion and consequence. This is from the Rand Corporation in 2020. Aiding the process of collecting massive amounts of data needed to hack human beings in the Internet of Bodies. The IOB, or the Internet of Bodies, is an ecosystem of wearable, attachable, implantable, or consumable devices. Park the car. So you say, I'm not going to wear none of that. I'm not going to put any of that on. Well, go ahead on and have a beverage. This GMO beverage. Consumable devices that connect the human body to the internet, much like the Internet of Things, or the IoT, but for people. According to a Rand Corporation report from 2020, the IOB, quote, might trigger breakthroughs in medical knowledge, or it might enable a surveillance state of unprecedented intrusion and consequences. Again, they repeat that. Additionally, increased IOB adoption might also increase global geopolitical risks, because surveillance states can use IOB data to enforce authoritarian regimes. So here are some of the ways that you can wear it. All right. Now listen, look at this. Even the baby, the Bluetooth connected to the diaper, wearable baby monitor on the ankle, temperature sensing pacifier, anti-drowning monitor. See, they've always got to tell you that something's good for you. This is going to help protect you. This is going to make your life easier. We've wimped out enough for them to know that we want stuff fast, and we want stuff in a hurry, and we want it right now. How did that work out for us? How did that work out for us? A sleep tracking onesie on the baby, right there. Look at sister girl. Intraocular lens with a camera, internet connected to the glasses, tooth mounted sensor, an electronic pill right here in the navel, clothing with temperature monitoring, fertility measurement device, meditation headset, Bluetooth connected hearing aid. You just gonna blow up. You're just gonna be walking down the street and become a combustible body. You're combustible. I mean, beyond hackable, there's got to be some other physical ailments. Look at this, an artificial pancreas. Look at that. Now, everybody knows somebody that's got a Fitbit or some type of device to help you count your walking. Now, you remember earlier in the story, it just got through telling us that the insurance is going to help you with your health and medical. Let me tell you what it is. This is what it is. This is exactly how this works. If you're unhealthy and you've got this thing on you, I can guarantee you, you won't be around long. Because anything that they can cut on, baby, don't you know, baby, they can cut it off. It goes on to say that the IOB is emerging from the so-called Fourth Industrial Revolution, which the WEF founder Klaus Schwab says will lead to the fusion of our physical, biological, and digital identities. Transhumanism. The WEF is fully behind widespread adoption of the IOB, despite recognizing the enormous ethical concerns that come with having an unprecedented number of sensors attached to, implanted within, or ingested. I want to keep impressing the term ingested into human bodies to monitor, analyze, and even modify human bodies and behaviors. After the Internet of Things, which transformed the way we live, travel, and work by connecting everyday objects to the Internet, it's now time for the Internet of Bodies, wrote Zhao Lu, the fellow at the WEF Center for the Fourth Industrial Revolution. This means collecting our physical data via devices that can be implanted, swallowed, or simply worn, generating huge amounts of health-related information. If you look, you're not healthy, fatty, you got to go, because we know you're not healthy. You put it on your insurance that you don't smoke. We know you smoke. You're fatty and you smoke. I mean, I hate to be comical, you guys, but that's exactly what they're telling us. They're telling us we can see it all. We know everything. Okay? You're worn out, you're tired. We see it all. We know it all. You can't hide nothing from us. We know what's in your mind. We know if you've been good or bad. So be good for goodness sake. Huh? Come on, somebody, talk to me. That's what they're doing. That's what they're telling us. That is what they're telling us. Now, here's the question that I wanted to ask you. I got a question. How many of you have noticed over the past maybe 8 months that your thinking just ain't right? Something just is a little off. I mean, you think okay, you know what I mean? You're not crazy, you're not tripping, but there's something that feels a little amiss. You know, beyond the going in the room and looking for one particular item, and then when you come out of the room, you forget, you go in the room and you forgot what you went in there for. I'm saying beyond that. Have you noticed that when you think about something lately, you can pick up your cell phone now? And what you was just thinking about, not speaking of, trust me, I'm not talking about what you say. You was just thinking about it, and then you pick up your computer, your handheld computer, your cell phone, and you get an ad for it. You ain't told nobody about that feeling of gout in your toe. You ain't told nobody. And all of a sudden, it's there. You've been hacked, baby. We've all been hacked. It's already done. You see how they slide in. Oh, yes, and it's being tested. Yes, it's being tested. Yes, we're running tests on it right now. That's because they testing it on you. They testing it on me. You can't even eat. You're going to be a breatharian? And even if you're a breatharian, I think they got, you know what? Everybody in here needs a tinfoil fedora, baby. We all don't need no tinfoil hats. We need to come on up and be a little more stylish. All of us are going to be walking around looking like we need a tinfoil hat because the stuff that they're doing is so James Bond beyond any of the stuff that you could ever imagine. This stuff is beyond anything you could ever begin to think could ever happen. Huh? Fine Dresser's Branch. Am I tripping? Jump back on. Am I, can somebody tell the Watchman? Am I, my crypto pie William? Mama Reed, y'all with me? So if everybody in here, at least if there's 10 people in here that can tell me that you all have had that experience where you're thinking about something, you ain't even opened your mouth to verbalize it, and all of a sudden you pick up your little handheld tattleteller. You pick up your little handheld tattleteller, your telephone, and there it is. With the ability to decode brain waves, humanity is on the cusp of what could be the worst totalitarian surveillance regime in human history. And y'all know it's you. Ain't that something? You telling us this, but it's you. You to know. What would you do if you woke up one day, the article asks, and your thoughts were no longer yours alone? If you...
All right. So I wanted to just bring you that. I wanted to bring you that because it is alarming that they have this technology. It's alarming that we have been consuming stuff without our permission and that they can do this to us. It is going to lead to us being persecuted for thought crimes. So you go back to 1984 and some of these other old books that people wrote decades ago, and all these people know this stuff. You just notice how is it that these people, these Europeans, know what's going to happen in the future? They know because they already planned it. They know because they already, have the stuff in the works. They're just perfecting it. And so I'm saying to you, we all need to be alarmed. You should be trying to detectify. That's not a word, I made that up. But but declutter the tech from your life. You know, you need to start getting rid of your technology. Um, when everything start getting real bad, I'm getting rid of my Wi-Fi. I don't know how. I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna be living different, but I'm not gonna be living dependent on technology. I'm just not gonna do this. I'm I'm not gonna live with a Ring doorbell. I'm not gonna have these computers snitching on me. I'm not gonna have my TV is coming out. I have a TV in my bedroom. I don't watch TV anyway, but I just don't want to get rid of it. I'm getting rid of my television because I don't watch television. Um, my Bluetooth speakers, I love them, but I have to get rid of them because they tell on me. Um, have to go back to the old stuff, the wired stuff that we used to have. That's not hackable. I don't know if it's hackable, but I'm just going to assume it's not hackable because it's not digital and it's not wireless. Um, we are really going to have to think about all the ways that they have lured us into this lifestyle and being dependent on these things and us believing that they make our lives better. We have bettered our lives into slavery, and it is going to be a digital slavery we're not going to be able to get out of. So you think about, when it talks about, everybody's talking about the mark of the beast, the mark of the beast, the mark of the beast, the chip, the chip, the chip. You don't have to get a chip. You don't have to get a Fitbit because you've consumed stuff already, whether you wanted to or not. You could have gotten a lollipop. You could have just taken some medicine and it's got nanotechnology in it with nanoparticles that can, you know, connect to sensors, your wireless router or your phone or whatever. It doesn't matter at this point. But what does matter, especially if you are African American or if you are Christian and you believe in the Most High, this is why it is so important for you to make sure you have this word in your heart and you have it in your head so that your actions can be controlled by the words of this book. Because what they are going to do is try to conjure up all kinds of bad stuff, put all kinds of thoughts. If you are hackable, that means they can put stuff in your head. They don't have to go with any idea that's in your head. If they can get in there, they can tell your brain what to do. If they can force you and bring those bad thoughts that you have, or that we all have some things inside of us that are not our best selves, but we fight and use the word or use whatever moral compass our culture has to govern us to keep us from doing the bad things. And they're going to use this technology against us. So, it's going to be really important that you understand the word, that the law, statutes, and commandments that the Most High gave us. If you're African American, if you're Judah, if you're Negro, because these people are going to have us wilding out in the streets. Not only that, we're going to be persecuted, and I'm tired of being persecuted. I'm tired of living in Babylon. I'm tired of being persecuted. I'm tired of not being able to be free. I'm tired of being subjugated by these demons. Like, I just don't understand why they are so dead set on us not being able to live freely, naturally, the way that we were intended. Why do we need to be subjugated? And who told them that they were the ones that are in charge of subjugating us? Who made them God? So, with that said, y'all know what's coming. All this AI they are unleashing and all these layoffs that are coming from these tech companies, these people are ready to unleash this stuff on us quickly. It's not going to be, 7, 8, 10, 15 years from now. Like, this stuff happening this year, it's going to be happening next year by 2025. Like, a lot of things are coming down the pipe. And with this economic collapse that is being predicted to be as bad, if not worse, than the Great Depression, We're going to have to do some things in order to eat. You're not going to be able to buy, sell, or trade. And you know why? Because they're going to know our thoughts. They're going to give us a rating, a social credit score. They're going to track our movements. They're going to know everything about us because we've already ingested this stuff, and they have a way to monitor us. But what they cannot do is break our spiritual connection with the Most High. If you have that, if you worship them same gods, them demons that they worship, well, y'all already together. And so I guess you won't have any problems going along with their program. But I have a problem going along with their program. So we all need to stay connected with the Most High. If you don't know him, I recommend you better get ready to know him, because that's going to be our only way out. There is no other way for us to escape this. We rely on them for food. We rely on them for shelter. We rely on them for work. So we're in bondage. And until we are able to escape this in some supernatural way, we are doomed. And so I'm saying that in love, but also with the seriousness. Like, y'all got to get it together. Sitting around and acting like this is not happening is not going to save anybody. It's not going to save you. It's not going to save me. So tell your friends, tell your family, try to figure out how you are going to get rid of some of this technology and get back to the basics, get back to the old stuff, get into your word, get a connection with the Most High, understand what is getting ready to take place, because these people are demonic. These people are Luciferians. They understand God, the Most High God. They understand their gods, but they understand the God, the creator of all things. And they understand who they worship. They worship Satan, the God of this world, for now. The problem is most of us don't understand and don't believe. They believe in God. People walking around do not. Most people are now atheists or agnostic. They're Christians and walking away from the church and kind of doing the esoteric Jesus, New Age religion, following along with all these other religions and pastors and ministers and popes and bishops who are misleading the people, just like they talked about in the Bible during the last days, the falling away. Again, you can believe in this stuff or not. You can read biblical prophecy and see what's happening and acknowledge it, or you can believe these Luciferians, these demons, these evil people, and fall for whatever it is they got for you. You can go out like a simp. You can go out like a lion. It's up to you. We have a choice. I'm just the bringer of the news. Do not shoot the news bringer. This is Marley K, bringing you a very disturbing news update from the Davos. Thanks to Dr. Felicia Lockhart from Headlines with the Voice. Again, I'll put the link in the description for her channel. And please make sure you like her video, share it, give her some feedback, let her know, that it wasn't my video. I actually played her video on my channel, but I just wanted you to see. I didn't want to reinvent the wheel. I think she did a really good job of describing what is going on, and with all her animation, I think she did a fantastic job. I hope you got the point. Don't forget to like her video, but also like mine, share it, share hers as well. And make sure that you declutter your life, because things are getting ready to get rough for us. And we're all in the West headed for a global enslavement. So if you plan on staying here, you're going to have to fight. And there are other ways to fight without physically fighting. You can rebel against this tyranny, involuntary tyranny. Willful ignorance is no longer optional. Can't be ignorant anymore. Ignorance got us here. Ignorance is not going to get us out of it. So y'all take care, be safe, and I will talk to you soon.